Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to play Old World Blues again. I have an earlier playthrough. I played Yellowstone Park, and since that was my first time doing this, and I'm also going through college, um, videos and stuff has gotten lost and things became out of order. And so, yeah, so I may go back and try to find it, but it'd be a little bit tedious at this point. So we'll see what happens with that. But today we are going to go to the Bull's Demise. And I feel like this is the area I've not played the most of. I feel like I played every other area other than here. And today, there's all this other stuff we could do. That'd be fun. Robot City, Glow Bugs, Summer's Federation. Um, but you know what? I feel like we're going to do the Luminous Ones. Now, I don't know anything about them. I've never played this people before. I've seen this. Never played them before, and I've seen they could make like an empire or something like that. But let's give it a look. So we have actually let's just start. And also I should mention this. If you guys like the content I'm making, if you guys could like and subscribe, that would be very cool. I'm doing this as a little. This whole making YouTube videos is more of a side project I'm doing over my summer break. I go to work and stuff like that, but I don't really have too much to do right now, just because summer also just is kind of starting for me. And so I wanted something that'd be fun, easy, and and I was like, there's so many games I want to play, there's so many things I want to do. And I was like, why don't I turn making video games into like a little YouTube channel thing? Um, Nothing too crazy, just for fun. So we're the luminous ones. We have the great glowing one, and we'll look at that. Let's actually start our focus and give it a quick little look on our focus tree. It's pretty. Wow. It's a pretty huge tree. So let's go for this first one. Once a man, the abyss. No ghoul ever started that way. So there we go. Let's get some focuses or some research geared up. I don't know what our research is going to be or our doctrine. So let's wait for that. It also entitles me to win this war. So I'm hoping I could really win this war. I also looked at this faction to play as. I don't know if you saw when I was looking through the thing. You can make an empire, so that's what I'm really aiming for. And here's the baggers, and usually, people usually play these people as the baggers. I'm gonna start it just a very slow start. And I played them, and I'll probably do a playthrough of them because they are very fun to play. But I think right now, oh wow, I didn't realize we'll have our own little focuses for this too. That's really interesting. Um, Anyways, let's disable the background. I'm not really getting any audio, so let me see if I could turn up. Let me just go into game options here real quick. Go to audio. Oh, I'm still not getting audio, so I'm gonna give it a quick look real quick. I'm gonna reload, and then I will come back after this. Actually, let me just finish reading this. The great glowing one, blessed, be his will, no one needed to question his holiness. Pair from the misled Book of the Glow. The figure of the Luminous One, the necromancer known as the Great Glowing One, does not talk or discuss his life before the glow, nor do any of his followers. Some of his closest advisors do not believe he himself even remembers. However, he talks of things only those born of having lived before the Great War can know. The decadence of America, the greenery of the land, the civility and mundane nature of life in the nation that was only years away from recovering from collapsing in on itself. However, the Great Glowing One was not always so great. Unbeknownst to all of his followers, aside from his closest and most trusted devotees, the Great Glowing One remembers being sticky and ill. He remembers machines made the monitoring health beeping wildly cries of sorrow and looks of solemn regret. A long droning wall, followed by a series of sudden beeps. He does not know why he is sickly, but those memories of mortality gave him all the reason he needs to never submit to weakness ever again. Made reality, though, his becoming of a glowing one. In truth, the Great Glowing One's time before the Great War was marked by a struggle with vicious disease, a near fatal experience and not having eaten for days, wounds suffered from an undetermined conflict, perhaps even self-inflicted. We'll go this one. We'll go strong. Okay, yeah, that is weird. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm not getting any audio. I'll look at this and then I'll read this. Reaching Epiphany took many years at the edge of madness and damnation. And I'll be back after I fix the audio. Yeah. All right. See ya. So I am back from that little stop to fix the audio. Let's see our production. So we're just producing guns. We actually make fair ghouls. So let's actually also get that lined up. We can't create an agency. We're just starting here. And let's read our next thing. The faith of the eternal luminous glow. Let's actually turn this up. There you go. Daily. Oh, okay. And I'll read for some of these. Obviously, I'm not going to read for every single one of them what it's going to be. These are just the first starting few, and I feel like this helps set the lore of the. Oh gosh, what is it? Of the nation, country. Just because I feel like it'd be interesting. People would want to know it. I don't think they'll really care too much about all this stuff. So, now a priest, invigorated, the Great One walked forth and spread the word of the eternal luminous glow onto the masses of his conviction, rallied many to his cause. Okay. The Great Glowing One, after the Great War, spent much time wandering the new wasteland of America had become. He saw ordinary animals become mutated beasts. He saw those like himself go mad with rage, sadness, or worse. Never to recover, he was... Oh, wow, that one. Okay. Alright, cool. He was shot by an early survivors who did not understand how care for the green glow of his visitors, lest they potentially contract it themselves. At times, the Great Glowing One once again suffered between the knowledge of it, even it needed to consume food or drink. All of these and more factored into the eventual descent into madness of the Great Glowing One, visions of things that weren't there, grotesque distortions of otherwise normal and unassuming sights, even cries and calls from the androgynous voices begging him to come back. He was on the brink of becoming like those he had seen, feral, beastly, and mindless. It was only with the arrival of lucid and slowly degrading Great Glowing One to a radioactive wasteland just outside the Cordon Centaur of Nebraska. I'm not going to read this, but there's a little chant book. So he saw Earth and all the people holding in hands in unity, and that gives us more construction speed, but we get more supply consumption. Visions and legions minus. Okay, this one just kind of sucks. Max planning factor, war penalty, starting logistics. Like that's the only good one, but this one has 13 defense. And visions of truth. Reconnaissance, research speed. Let's do this one. Even though supply consumption, I feel like that one will be better. Let's get the next one going. Betrayal by the heretics. Deception, the so-called father of the cradle is foolish and venomous, rejecting the path we must all walk in the world. They have turned many against the great glowing one and usurped the place of the founding. Shepherds of lambs, from the ashes of despair and the depths of madness, the great glowing one emerged with a newfound purpose, as radiant, as unyielding as the glow itself. He would be a shepherd of humanity's radiant future. His travels took him far and wide, seeking wisdom and truth whenever it could be found. One pivotal stop was Gravestone. Oh my gosh, I need it. I'm doing this a little bit early in the morning, so I'm not going to be able to read things all the best. Where the bishops of Plutonus taught him the sacred rites of atomic reverence. There he learned to wield radiation as both salvation and a weapon, to split irrigants like an atom under pressure, releasing cleansing light and conversion. When he left Gravestone, it was with the fiery blessing and the glow we all are reforged. Returning to the cradle, the great glowing one began his mission in earnest. His silver green tongue worked tirelessly, preaching to the humans and ghouls alike, proclaiming inevitability of ghoulification as humanity's only next step. One of the first converts was a glowing father, once a pre-war Buddhist refugee and living embodiment of the tantric mysteries, who had wandered the waste for decades in search of peace. The glowing father's tranquil demeanor and deep understanding of the suffering brought a spiritual weight to the great glowing one's burgeoning movement, and together they traveled the wilds, bringing followers back to the cradle. While the glowing father prided himself on converting through compassion and reason, the great glowing one, haunted by memories of his encounters with violent and hostile wastelanders, took a different approach. He began constructing a private sanctum where he could experiment on faith, humanity, and the glow itself. There he performed rituals and conversions on the unwilling, with their scream echoing through the cradle as flesh and faith were reforged into something new. Witness, my disciples, the unworthy shall be stripped of their weakness, their fragile humanity split apart like an unstable isotope, and from the radiance a devout ghoul shall emerge, baptized by light of the glow, the great glowing one. So, this one more manpower and a little bit more guns. Whether converts could only be forced or found by land, sea, or air, the great glowing one would find them, and this gives us scrap bicycles. Or the glowing father grew concerned at the amount of time the glowing one spent in his lab. We'll just do people. I don't see why we wouldn't. The rest of the ones are a little bit boring. Okay, betrayal by the heretics. The father and the great glowing one, the glow's cradle, having grown over the years, slowly went from a radioactive wasteland into a near military industrial complex. Crucifixions were set up upon a mouth of the most radioactive pits for conversion for the most devout humans. Armories, barracks, and armored churches sprouted up across what little land could be settled on. Servants in peace and prosperity were slowly replaced with angry shouts of conversion for the unholy and gifts for the ungifted. The glowing father, having gone on longer and longer individual missions, slowly realized the militant conversion of the faith he had once been a harbinger of, and sought to make things right. Taking the great glowing one aside after a sermon, the glowing father referred him to a location across the river That could be the next step of expanding faith, with pre-war water treatment facilities and abandoned uranium mines that can make up for new conversion centers. In reality, the glowing father had only visited the location once, deeming it worthless and unable to properly restored by anyone, even his own followers. It was with this knowledge he sent the Great Glowing One and a majority of the militant mass on their way. After they had crossed the river, he and his peaceful acolytes built outposts and barracks across the river, ensuring that it cannot be crossed, and locking the newly luminous ones on the other side of the river. The Great Glowing One only realized the trickery after several weeks of lost contact. He set up his followers out to claim the heavily irradiated ruins of Cheyenne while establishing himself at the Red Mountain in preparation for conflict with those who had been taken to a hostile reproach to his faith. The baggers, due to their belief that no one should be forcefully converted to any religion, let alone forcefully ghoulified, and the withered dogs for their experience with religious charlatans in the past. Rejoice, followers, we shall settle and make a new cradle here. Let's get an arms workshop. I feel like that'd be a little bit more. Let's see what I would want to do. Virtue of presence. It gains some stuff. I think this might be more long term. This might help with the war, but this seems more long term. This gives some good weapons. Quickly irradiate towns throughout northern Colorado, turning ghoul and smooth skin alike feral, reduce the population of each state in the powder keg by 100, create 2 units of dim bulbs. Sorry, that was a little thing I turned on earlier. This might be better. I feel like this gives us guns, this gives us some people, and then we get to choose this one. Which one? So let's see what this says. What soul could stand by while enemies around us grow stronger? Who would stay their anger with the faithless aim blades at our people while they gather strength to destroy us? There is no peace. And now, it seems like we still don't got anything to do. We could do this, and that gives our leader another slot. Let's see, is he he's just a unit leader right now. We'll do this one. Buy ourselves some equipment. We got this person along with us, and we get the glowing one, which minus 25% reconnaissance, but more division attack and defense. And do we have any money to buy any guns? Does not look like it. Okay, so okay, good. We got more people. Let's do we'll do this next. Okay, that requires feral ghouls. This needs more equipment, and this needs more risk production. Okay, so let's get 3 of these units out at a minimum, and let's see what actually they look like. Okay, so they're, oh wow, they redid a lot of the stuff. Okay, that's pretty cool looking. I haven't played Hearts of Iron for quite a long time, because up until recently, my computer used to have problems running it. I had, since I'm going to college, I had a laptop that was only able to run kind of crude games on it. And as you see, I'm playing a video game. I like playing games every now and again. And so I couldn't play anything. And I couldn't run base Hearts 4, and so I just kind of stopped. And that had stopped me from playing other things because it would run slow too. So we're going to get an arms workshop, and I think we may go for guns. It'll take us too long to build up super mutant stuff. So it also... Okay, I'm going to apologize if you guys hear lower in the background. I'm actually going to stop. They're kind of walking away. I was going to say I was going to stop, but they won't stop for quite a long time. Oh, and they're moving away now. Okay, good. Okay, and do we have any water? Can they give us any water? Okay, down here. You know what? Let's Armies of the Faithful. Let's go down to this one, and I especially want this one, which give us 250 more guns. Just because we're not going to be able to buy guns in time. That's just something that needs to be realized. We're not going to be able to buy guns in time. And we also need somebody who's going to give us more political power. Maybe this Friends in High Places one. Yeah, there you go. So we have a few. We have Followers of the Father, which Edward Walker, Zach Baker for Mashoken Heretics, and Cheyenne Icolins, which is Matthew Briggs. Huh. And we are hopefully getting close to... Okay, cool. Raid on Fort Lemire. Ghazi silently stood alongside the loyal task force on the hill overlooking the east side of Fort Lemire. The rotten general, as he had become to identify by both who despised and those who praised him, raised his warhammer's handle silently, slamming it in the head of the ground. It was the time a single shot was fired in the air, signaling the remaining force on the west side of the fort. It was time to attack. The brown cowls of guys, and his group masked their entry into the fort without effort, whilst most of the fort's men were forced on the major direct attack. On the west side, Gier's group took out the remaining soldiers who wanted to investigate the shot, where it came from the east side. Skulls were smashed and blades cut through flesh and rotten flesh alike. Silenced bullets ended the lives of soldiers, and yet all those done without a sound, even despite a ruptured roar that continued to emerge from the west side of the fort. As Ghazi entered the courtyard, he sent his men out to the remaining barracks to eliminate any stragglers. Reaching into the back of his cowl, he pulled out a black furred cloth. Unfurling it revealed a flag of the Luminous One, the skull painted on the radium paint. Planting and raising the flag on the lone flagpole in the center of the fort, Gazir pulled out his warhammer from his back sling. Extending the handle head of the hammer, he drew the hammer back as far as he could go, harnessing all possible power he could, both from within and provided by the luminous armor, to slam as hard into the ground as he could. A shockwave emitted from the strike, nearly on par with a minor earthquake. Glass shattered, wood smashed, and unarmored humans and ghoul soldiers of Black Canyon stumbled and fell, whilst the luminous forces remained steadfast in the armor protecting them from the effects of the strike. As the rhythmic rhythmic echo of the hammer strike became silent. The burgeoning silence was instead met with an enormous roar of the Luminous One upon seeing the flag of the nation raised high in the air. Fort Lemire was now theirs. Okay. We didn't really get a fort though. That didn't really do anything. Okay, cool. I was gonna skip forward, but given this episode, for me is getting close to ending, I might as well just stick it out. And let's get more people. We get ever so close to war. Yeah, we'll probably... Oh gosh, look at this. Wow, that's cool. This upgrades infantry equipment. This, we'll see what we do in the future for that. And we have one of these finished. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. It's another alarm. Sorry about that going off. I don't know really how much I want to go down this tree. Because at some point it stops making sense because I don't need any more unit commanders. It'd be, I think, more beneficial for me to go down this. And this is more stability and construction bonuses. Because as much as it would be nice to keep going down that tree and get those bonuses, if I don't have the proper facilities to keep on going with them, it's not getting the best. And now this looks very interesting. I like how it's actually like glowing mist in the background. But I do know they do a lot of cool things. There's Doki Doki, like it's flashing. Oh, they do with this lightning thunder. This where it sparkles. They have another one. I thought they did one for someone up here. And there's a few other ones. Whoa! Drambies. This looks like it has something out of Five Nights at Freddy's. And I know that because I'm near to college being done. When I was growing up, that was what was playing on YouTube all the time, and so I'm young enough to know that. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. Leave my age people never know how old I am. So let's build Undying Knights. What do they actually need? Oh, I believe just weapons, right? Okay, infantry equipment. And we are getting more people. And we have some more of this. Let's go. Well, we're getting a lot of recruitable population people, so I don't know if that's a good thing because we'll have a large population to work from, or that's a bad thing. I've never played as a ghoul nation, so I don't know. So maybe let's go for we'll go with this person, the head physician. And that should bring us quite a bit of people. And since we're going to be fighting a war here soon, let's go offensive expert. Uh, let's do this one. Jubal Travis. And hopefully Jubal Travis is not a bad guy. And I don't think we get anything special. I don't know. I've never played as a ghoul. Okay, so we have this one for ghouls. That looks unique. No normies, low normies. Makes sense. I just never played as a ghoul, so this is like my first proper game. Game of one, and I almost dropped the soda. I always see this. Oh wow. We could do this. See, I always say we could get them out of here. It gives us more mobilization speed. We lose some stability. We gain more war support and research speed. But honestly, if we let them through, we just lose political power gain, and that's really it. And I think these guys would be an interesting playthrough. I feel like they could make a little focus for them, even if it's small, and it's just like you are barons of I think tungsten. Yeah, tungsten production, and you are barons of tungsten production, and you just you just gain a lot of factories, and that could be a thing. Or they're more capitalistic than the New California Republic. And I thought I saw online that this tree had gotten a rework. I don't know to what though. This looks different. Yeah, this looks way different. Because I've only played them very little. Robotic assistants. Okay, yeah, that's different. I'll take a look at that again here in a few seconds. And we'll go, we could get more water production, which I think we may need. So let's go more water production. Let's get rid of some agriculture. And let's click on Lost Hills again. The expeditionary. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember the circle of steel. I remember this R&D one. There's this stuff I've never seen before. So there is a bit of a unique stuff to it. That's pretty cool. And there we go. We got another research thing, and I think... What is this? I think I am going to end it here, and then I will... I want to play Warden. I actually had a playthrough of Warden, and then this got a huge update, and then it wouldn't let me go back to my playthrough of Warden. And yeah, this is this thing. It gets all glitchy and stuff. But I'll end it here, and oh yeah, the flawed parish. Yeah. Where is the other one that I think it would be a really cool person? Sorry. Oh, it's like the Reclamation Army Depot or something. I feel like that'd be a really cool playthrough because they have a really cool like country leader. Anyways, I'll end this here, and I'm gonna complete some focuses till we get closer. Well, we're almost close to this, so I'm gonna complete focuses till we're getting close to the war, and I will see you guys later. If you guys could like and subscribe, that's more of an external motivation, just because I'm doing this as a little hobby, and it'd be nice to know that people like it. But yes, I will see you later, and bye.